Friday night ESPN doubleheader shaping up to be a bit of a doozy with some real playoff angles in play. Cavs at Pistons, Nuggets at Thunder. We are breaking down the angles and hoping to beat the books with picks from both games. So make sure you stick around for all of that. It's Ninja here with Nick Holz. Welcome to the channel. Nick, let's start in the East. The Pistons, fresh off Wednesday's win over the Thunder. Lots of players not featuring for OKC, but still some nice MVP talk of late. Cade, third on the board at plus 425. Shai and Jokic, the only two ahead of him, and are on the brink of losing eligibility. So is that a good price for Cade right now?
Well, I think if you got the price a couple of weeks ago, you're laughing right now. If you believe in Detroit's ability to stay on top in the East and keep their stranglehold they've had in the Eastern Conference all season, then yes, even if you're getting in at this price, you like the idea of Cade Cunningham winning the award. I think Shai only has 5 more games left to go before he's ineligible, and only a couple left for Jokic, and those are the top two, the only two ahead of Cade right now. He's been the best clutch player in the league this season, knocking down over 65% of shots under 5 minutes with the game within 2 possessions in crunch time, averaging north of 25 points, almost 10 assists, and 6 rebounds per contest, and also giving you production on the other end of the floor with about 2 steals and nearly a block a game. So this is elite two-way production from one of the best guards in the NBA who's carrying a heavy offensive load. And you also get the boost of now, like, Detroit's playing a lot of primetime games, a lot of national televised games, and a lot of that hype is going to follow Cade for the rest of the season.
Let us know who you think is going to win NBA MVP, turning into a pretty interesting betting spot. And Nick, it's funny. Cade's point overs had sort of cooled off a bit of late, though he did go over with 29 against OKC. But his rebounds plus assists have been a really good bet lately. Over has hit in 6 in a row. It's typically 14.5 or 15.5. Do you think this spot against Cleveland Friday, do you like this in this market?
Well, it's a great shout on the rebound and assist market as a whole, a market that I've exploited all season long, and one that you should definitely keep your eye on if you're betting on NBA player props. It depends on what his line finishes at. If it's over 14.5, I'm probably out on this market. I just think the Cavs have the size and the length to disrupt his drives, but as we talked about, averaging almost 10 assists a game, and close to 6 boards a night, I believe, as well. So it's certainly something you want to keep your eye on. But if that price is just a little bit inflated, there's Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the paint for the Cavs. So I think they're uniquely equipped to stop them here and to hopefully play some better defense than the Pistons have seen in the last week or so.
What are your thoughts on this Cavs team, sort of post James Harden acquisition? They are 6-1 straight up, 4-3 against the spread with him in the lineup. He didn't play in Wednesday's loss to the Bucks with that fractured thumb. Non-shooting hand, so obviously with the NBA, just keep an eye on roster news. But what do you think he has brought to this Cavs team that just makes them a bit different?
Yeah, he's been a great fit so far. If you're a Cavs fan, you're probably thinking we're trading a mid-20s Darius Garland for, a 36-year-old James Harden and kind of confused by that. But he's just brought some scoring punch and been turned into the Cavs' primary playmaker as well, which has been huge for this squad, and also takes a lot of pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. You've seen Harden zipping his passes out there and putting his teammates in a position to succeed. He just has that innate ability, as all superstars do, to create offense out of nothing. And for that reason, the Cavs scoring 7.4 more points per 100 possessions with Harden on the floor than when he sits. Now, I will be fading Harden against the Pistons because Detroit just has so many defensive stalwarts to throw at him and Donovan Mitchell. They play a physical brand of basketball, and they really force officials to make their calls. But with his thumb injury, he may not even play as well. So keep an eye on that and any injury report and lineup news as well.
And I asked that question because just a few days ago, Charles Barkley was on TV and he said, quote, the Cavs are coming out of the East. So they were his pick, but they are the faves to win the East right now, Nick, at plus 280. So not a super hot takey, call or anything like that. But do you agree with Charles Barkley with that and this Cavs team?
I've got to disagree with Sir Charles on that one, especially at this price. Cleveland coming off such a great season last year, they just lacked that same cohesion this season. We've seen Evan Mobley get hurt and a lot of the rotation players be in and out of the lineup as well. And they're really not as deep this year after losing guys, key contributors like Ty Jerome too. So right now they're in the fourth position. They'd be playing the Raptors in the first round, which is a much tougher series than people really think. We also know that Harden is a known playoff underperformer. He just struggled in the playoffs for most of his career. Plus, then if they beat the Raptors, they'd be on the road against probably one of the top three seeds. So either the Knicks, the Pistons, or a Boston squad that could potentially have Jason Tatum back for the playoffs. So I think they'd have those three squads would have the upper hand against Cleveland, especially with home court advantage. I'm going to fade the Cavs all day at that price.
All right, Nick, these teams have split the regular season meetings going into this game on Friday, 1-1 straight up, 1-1 ATS. Under has cashed both times. What's your pick for this one? And we're recording this, sort of ahead of lines hitting the books. But in terms of prediction markets, like a Kalshi, for example, we can expect the spread to be around 5.5, the total at 230.5. But what do you like here, Nick?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the old reliable this season. I'm going with the Pistons money line, 22-7 at home on the year. And I just think there's too much risk back in Cleveland, especially if Harden doesn't suit up.
Cavs 11-1, Pistons 13-1 in NBA futures markets. Nick, either of those worth a sprinkle for the title here?
Now, I did like Detroit's price earlier on in the season, so if you'd grabbed this a few weeks ago, I would have said, yeah, I like the value there, but right now, I just think their prices are too high, especially with the Knicks and Celtics lurking. Like I said, Boston has played so well since the new year, really, and now they have the shadow of Jason Tatum ready to play for likely the stretch run into April and into the playoffs as well, and I just think there's too much uncertainty there on top of the East. There's a lot of competition, and at those prices, I'm staying away right now.
Folks, level up your NBA betting with Prop Professor, and right now you can get 25% off the first month if you sign up right now using the promo code OddsSharkPP. Prop Professor is a fantastic betting tool that highlights all of the day's plus EV spots. It's got a fantasy optimizer, it's got an arbitrage tool, and much, much more. It's also got tons of leagues beyond the NBA. It's got college hoops, the NHL, Major League Baseball, obviously football when those seasons start back up, plus more. It's got a little something for everybody. So use the promo code OddsSharkPP right now to get 25% off for that first month. Link down below in the description. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what your Friday NBA plays are down below in the comment section. And then at the top of the NBA odds board for the championship, Nick, Thunder plus 140, Nuggets plus 475, the next game we're going to talk about. But any value there, do you think?
Well, with that plus 140 price on the Thunder, books are implying that they have an over 85% implied chance of victory. So, I mean, if you like the champs to go back to back and you believe in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams the way I do, I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere else with the Thunder right now. It's really tough to back anyone else in this market. If you were to look elsewhere, I do like the value a little bit further down the board on a team like San Antonio, which I think was 12-1 the last time I looked.
Let's dig into this matchup now. And the Thunder come in off that loss to the Pistons, but given the injuries with this team, was it impressive that they were able to cover the 10.5 in that loss, Nick?
Yeah, they're on a big road trip right now without their top two players and with guys like Isaiah Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren also in and out of the lineup and also missing another playmaker in AJ Mitchell. So you could argue like their top three ball handlers, their top three offensive sparks are sitting on the bench, and yet they're still beating a almost fully healthy Raptor squad the night before, and then in a back-to-back going to Detroit, who's been, the East best squad this year and still covering the numbers. So, I mean, this team is just a juggernaut. It's insane when you look at their depth chart. Guys like Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams, Jared McCain really stepping up in place of those stars. And if those guys are your numbers 8, 9, 10 in your rotations, you're probably a pretty good team. I mean, Cason Wallace also one of the most underrated players, two-way players in the game right now, and the Thunder are just a really impressive squad.
So you talk about some of the guys a bit further down, and just to add, Isaiah Joe had to leave that game Wednesday night, which now means, like you sort of alluded to, their top 6 scorers are banged up. Lou Dort, their only starter that is seemingly healthy. What does that mean if anyone wants to bet Thunder player props here? Some of the guys you mentioned, does it open the door for a Jared McCain prop bet or anything like that? Or is it just a total stay away at this point?
Yeah, you're certainly opening the door for some of these backups to step up and shine. And we saw it in the last game. Jared McCain had 20 against the Pistons. He's shooting 44% from three since being traded to OKC at the deadline. I mean, at this point, if the Thunder general manager is calling you trying to get a player, I'd probably hang up the phone. I mean, we've seen 44% from three. It's a small sample size so far, but he knocked down 4 against the Pistons the other night. And I'm looking at his points and 3-point props as well.
The Nuggets, on the other hand, have been sort of sputtering a bit recently. 4-6 straight up in February, 3-7 against the spread. We use the term get right game when talking about football. Do you think this might be a get right game for the Nuggets?
Yeah, it's been a tough and strange season for the Nuggets with Jokic out and trying to navigate other injuries to starters. Peyton Watson has missed a lot of time here this last month or so. Obviously Jamal Murray in and out of the lineup as well. So obviously being the champs gives everybody confidence. But like you said, if they beat the champs without 4 of their starters and probably 4 out of their 5 top scorers, then, how much is it really a get right game? I mean, it's certainly a great spot to continue stacking wins after they beat the brakes off the Celtics earlier this week. I think they won that game by about 19 points. So you want to continue to build wins where you can down the stretch and maybe, use some stuff against the Nugget or the Thunder defensive coverages to see where you can exploit them later on if you meet in the postseason.
Let's get into your pick then and wrap this up. And like you sort of mentioned, like prediction markets like a Kalshi, sort of in the 4.5 points here total, we can expect to maybe be 224.5, excuse me. Your thoughts on a bet for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to back the Nuggets money line. I'll be on the underdog here. We really don't know who's going to suit up for OKC, so make sure you're checking that out as the day goes along to see if any of their stars are actually going to play. But with so much uncertainty surrounding their star players, I have to back Jokic and Murray against an undermanned Thunder team.